Am Mor Drunkenblade, born from a long line of righteous fighters charged with the protection of our ancestral mines deep within the northern mountains of Faerun. I have spent more than 180 years toiling at this task, and I have yet to find comfort or real sense of purpose within it. My time as a youth was spent merely reading and being educated, but I know that within all these readings and my righteousness within me, that I shall have purpose and do good things. Held here, not being able to do much of anything but guard miners deep within. It would seem that I have become complacent, and I did not heed the warnings. For that, more than a dozen of my men and miners were slaughtered by an onslaught of goblins. Wave after wave of these hideous creatures poured into the mines. I bore witness to their squid-faced leader taking pleasure in sucking the souls out of each of my men, their screams ringing in my ears and muffled by the tentacles wrapped around their faces. Bound and stripped of my own armor, I prepared myself for the horror that approached. But it did not come, and as luck would have it, a garrison of dwarves from a nearby mine shaft pushed back the siege, and I was pulled to safety. This and possibly other shortcomings, I was tasked with something I felt far below my station. Along with a group of aging fighters, I went to Waterdeep to take care of some high-class criminal wants and deal with bandits and gangs deemed too much for the city guard to handle. I should have felt better knowing that the Department of Urban Management Projects insignia that I wore was nothing more than an inside joke. We were called the Dump, and that insignia, I hid it underneath my cloak. And after years of being paraded around like some pompous peacock, I did have on occasion. I'd make my way throughout the city, and I'd noticed a group of members of which had been arrested numerous times, and the city guard plaguing the new arrivals. One in particular, they seemed to gain some joy in hounding, no pun intended, a Wolvar. But one day it seemed that the city guard were reluctant to pursue these bandits outside of the city gate. We pursued these scoundrels into the forest outside the city. Cornered in a small ravine, I saw the Wolvar from the city being beaten and robbed. I did not hesitate to order my men to the Wolvar's aid, and I must admit I found a little joy in giving these bandits a taste of dwarven might. Dusting himself off and wiping a bit of clotted blood from his lip, he introduced himself as Nova. Nova and I headed to the castle ward and the yawning portal. As the sun slowly started to rise, ushering the morning, I felt compelled to ask Nova if he would like to join the city guard under my watch. And as it does, fate intervened, and while taking care of a rather nasty group of gangsters, Nova was struck down and lay mortally wounded on the cobblestone road. Laying my hands on his lifeless body, I prayed for some intervention. Opening his eyes and smiling his toothy grin, his youthful voice asked if I had seen her. Seen who? I proclaimed. It was at that time he held up a single raven's feather. Not sure where he got it from. Probably from the lady he was talking about. I thought it weird, and he proclaimed it's going to get weirder. Not sure how much weirder it could get, but I guess we're about to find out.